Hello, everyone. How are you? It's Jeannie. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. I just want to let you know that. Thank you for all the kind comments you send me. I wasn't feeling very good, and you were so nice with your thoughts and wishes for good health. And back to you, because I know some of you are fighting bugs and things as well. And so anyway, again, Sarah Turner, who turned me on to these all-American ad books. Look how fat that thing is. This is the 1950s, and I'm going to do the 40s coming up. And I know more about the 50s than I do the 40s, even though the 50s was not the era I was raised in. I was raised in the 60s. There was still a lot of holdover in some of these things in the early 60s that I do remember. So, my cat's banging at the door. And so anyway, but the 50s have a cool vibe in and of themselves. If you think about Happy Days, do you remember with Ron Howard and the Fonz? And if you ever watched Happy Days, that was kind of like the 50s. Or, some of those early programs, Laverne and Shirley. And now, of course, those are sitcoms that had a lot of stereotypes and things like that. But I talked to my mom, and she thinks the 50s were very simple and pure and good, and but then every decade was like that for my mom. So yeah, she always saw the best of every year and every decade. And if there is anything I could learn from her, it would be that. Always look at the bright side of something. Always look at the good side, because you do have a choice, and there typically are more sides, and good things to find within a period, even a tough period. So, yeah, we'll all be like my mom. If we were all like my mom, this world would be rainbows and unicorns. Truly. I've been going through some of her boxes, because she's in a care facility now. She loves it. You ask several of you, like William Mitchell, my friend from Scotland, you're always asking about my mom, and some of you others do as well. She is doing very well. She's more and more forgetful. Dementia doesn't go away. It doesn't get better. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes it's sad, but healthy. She is active in bingo for people like her, chair yoga, chair exercises, dancing. They do outings where they have a beautiful big van, and they go on, they call them scenic tours. And it'll be to places they've seen. She's in up in the foothills from Sacramento. It's called Cameron Park, which is above Folsom. And they go driving around Old Folsom or Placerville, and it's like it's new to them. And they just love it. They sit on the bus and they look out the window and just, wow, and they're happy. And so they go on these scenic tours, and they've got great food. She loves the food there. It's just, it's such a good situation for her. And her friends come and pick her up and take her out for lunch. I fly back and see her and the kids and touch bases with her and just kind of stay in touch with her nurse supervisor to make sure all her care plans are what I agree with. And it's just fantastic. And yeah. Anyway, I'm going through some of her boxes that, she doesn't need. And I've found a bunch of journals. And they're so wonderful to go through. Just some of the things that she did every day. She used to love going to thrift stores and charity shops and finding these awesome deals and, clothes for the kids, all the grandkids, and cute things. And just her simple, happy, loving way. And in reading these journals, it just makes me appreciate her so much more. I can't really discuss them with her because she wouldn't remember them. She wouldn't remember what she wrote. But that's okay, because I've got who she was, the essence of her in those journals. So it's really fond moments for me going through them. Yeah. So thank you for asking about my mom. So far, so good. Yeah. Anyway. And somebody's going to start yard work or something. It just never fails. It never fails. So let's go through this All-American ads. And I love reading their intros. It's long, so I won't read the whole thing. And it's in all these languages. Okay. All right. It's very long, this long intro. I'll just hit a couple points. Unlike previous decades, and of course all the type is super tiny. Unlike previous decades in which the Depression and World War II condoned frugality and rationing, American consumers of the 1950s were experiencing an unprecedented phenomenon. A generation born before and during the Depression were of an age where their earning power created a pocket of wealth. This, combined with a declining number of individuals to share it and the resumption of American industry's aggressive consumer economy after the war, set the stage for a buying binge that Americans would indulge in for the foreseeable future. I think we're still in the buying binges. With a productivity rate of 2% per year between 1945 and 1955, Americans were buying 75% of the cars and appliances on Earth. Despite the shadow of atomic obliteration hanging over the American consciousness, advertisers continued to barrage the public a new mass market with products that were newer, better, and faster. And Americans felt entitled to it. Striving to lead normal, productive lives after saving the world from Axis aggression, the American public looked beyond their pre-World War II days and gazed to the future. And the future looked great, at least seen through the eyes of television, magazines, and advertising. So anyway, it goes on about the suburban trends and home ownership and cars and car designs. And so anyway, and then television was really the new media giant. A lot of people were starting to get their TVs in every home. Not every, but many. And so you're starting to get those ads, take this, eat this, do that, buy this, buy that. And of course, music. Music influenced a lot back then as well. So, we're going to get to this. My grandmother, my dad's mom, the mean one, we called her. She was born in 1900. And so she lived through World War I, the Depression, and World War II. And so she really learned how to be frugal. And, they lived without running water and without electricity back in the 20s when she was raising all her kids. And so, wow. I remember visiting her in the 90s, in the early 90s. She was in her 90s. And she saved everything. She saved every jar, plastic thing, wrapper, because that was her mentality. And I think as she got older and with her dementia, she reverted back to, I might need this thing. I'm not getting rid of it. And then when she did pass away and we went through her stuff, we were finding, she had turned into a hoarder. We were finding airline food. She went on a trip. One of her daughters took her on a trip to Hawaii. We found her peanuts from, the package you got, and all the little snacks she got on the flight. She still had those from the 70s. And we had to do dumpsters full of stuff from her garage and a couple of her bedrooms. And it was because of that frugal mindset from the Depression and from the wars. So, people today don't remember that. If you're young, you've never really lived through that. Many of you in America now, if you're abroad in different countries, you may have experienced extreme poverty or lack, due to something going on in your country. But for the most part, Americans are very, very comfortable and have so much available to them. Not everybody, I know that. But overall, we are a high consumerism society here. And a lot of Europe, as well, and other nations, Canada, Australia. It's just the way it is. We haven't been hit with a world war recently, and I hope we never are, I just want to say, no, we don't want that. But I would caution you, as I go through these books of these decades and ads, start thinking smarter. Start thinking in terms of today's barrage of ads. Where you think you have to have that latest style of pants or clothes or purses or this or that. What can we do without? Do I really need this extra thing? I've been putting off getting a new phone. My screen is cracked. It's an iPhone 12, and I know they're up to, 16 now. And I'm going to wait. My battery's not holding, but I tell you, I'm going to wait. I am really doing a shift in my personal consumerism. What do I really need? And I don't need to be buying much. I would rather save it and have it just in case. So, I am going to caution you, particularly you younger people, save rather than spend, okay? Those are my wise words to you. Don't be, all about, I have to have this latest thing. Because you really don't. You really don't. So, okay? I know, I'm lecturing you. I'm wagging my fingers at you. Do a little splurge here and there, but let's see if we can start scaling back. And I'd love to hear from you about that. If you have an aha moment and think, yeah, I can be spending less. And here's how. Okay, so now, enough of my blah blah lecture. Let's get the camera up and over us and look through these all-American ads. Oh, this thing is heavy. I could lift weights with this and get muscles. And let's go back to the 1950s. Okay, here we go. A very classic 50s look. And these kind of look like the Barbie dolls that first came out. Okay, we'll just kind of flip through till we get to the first section. This is a Lucky Strike cigarette greeting, a holiday greeting, Christmas greeting. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to get to the car section. Can you imagine trying to find a parking spot for this car today? Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this, like a Formica table, but it matches the curtains and the chairs. How cute is that? Okay. This was an ad for Arrow shirts. Okay, let's get straight to it. See, this is what I read from. I mean, it's very long. What is this? Okay, I've got a shadow here. There we go. I think I fixed that. You know, they're going through all the different magazines here. All, for the most part, very wholesome, you know. Okay, here's one. You'll purr with pagan pleasure. Tomcat. Okay, alcohol and tobacco. All right, so this starts off with beer and Miller's. Oh my gosh, look at this backyard barbecue scene with Miller's High Life beer and Pabst Blue Ribbon, hams. You know, I'm reading a book right now, and it's called 97 Orchard, and it's all about the immigrants who came to America in the New York City area, and how they set up, brought their food traditions, their cooking traditions, and the Germans and their beer. That's the section I'm on right now. And I think it goes through, what was it? Let me tell you. It goes through like the Germans, the Jews, the Italians, I think the Irish. Anyway, it's 5 ethnicities and what they brought in terms of their cooking and food making. They set up shops, they set up restaurants and delis and things like that, and how they did that coming here to America. And I am so glad they did, because I love almost every ethnic food. So I'm on the beer section, clearly. Blatz. I don't know Blatz, Milwaukee's finest. I don't know Blatz. Liberace. Oh my goodness, my mom loved Liberace. He was a very flamboyant piano player. Okay, I don't know what this one is. Okay. Yeah, just beer and good time. Beer and good time. Beer and good time. Here's gin and tonic and good time. Schaefer beer. My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. So it's a lager. Look at this car. Look at that car. That is so cute. Schlitz malt liquor. Yeah, these are all German. And Germans were the ones who really brought beer to the U.S. There's lots of thunder outside. Hurricane Beryl, Beryl, is making her way into Texas. And today, when I'm filming this, she's just starting to stretch out her tentacles and make her presence known. I think for us, it's going to be more of a rain event than, an actual hurricane hit like on the coast. So I'm grateful for that, but we might get 5 to 6 inches of rain between now and tomorrow night. Courvoisier. Every time I see Courvoisier, I think of Saturday Night Live, and I can't remember the actor who used to be. Do you hear that thunder? Well, he was like the groovy guy, Courvoisier, and the women's man. The women's man, I think, is what he did. His moniker. Okay, champagne. Oh yeah, I love me my champagne. I really do like a good champagne. That is, I never made a champagne. It's a whole different process. And I wouldn't attempt that. But, okay, whiskey, vodka, gin. Oh, black and white blended Scotch whiskey. All right, Hiram Walker. I don't know some of these names. Seagram 7 Crown, Smirnoff. Okay, now the cigarettes. My dad smoked Camels. Camel non-filter, because he said it was the finest tobacco. He said all other tobaccos were swept up off the floor, but Camel had good tobacco. So, yep, this is exactly what he smoked. Chesterfield. A lot of people smoked. Oh, look at this. Nose, throat, and accessory organs are not adversely affected by smoking Chesterfield. What a crock. Okay, a group of people from various walks of life, they were organized to smoke only Chesterfields. For 6 months, this group of men and women smoked their normal amount of Chesterfields, 10 to 40 a day. 45% of the group have smoked Chesterfields continually from 1 to 30 years for an average of 10 years. Each smoker was given a thorough examination, x-rays, gone over by a medical specialist and his assistants, and it covered the sinuses as well as the nose, ears, and throat. And after this thorough examination, it is their opinion that the ears, nose, throat, and accessory organs were not adversely affected by smoking these cigarettes. Wow. Okay, here's a Camel ad. All right, Rock Hudson. No other cigarette is so rich tasting, yet so mild. Okay, now Camel here says, not one single case of throat irritation. And John Wayne is telling us that. So, okay. Okay, more Chesterfield. It's mild. No other cigarette has it. Tyrone Power. Okay, less tar, more taste. Oh, Dragnet. Did any of you ever see Dragnet? It was that was out in the, I think the 60s, but Jack Webb was an actor before that in the 50s. Dragnet was like, he was a law guy, detective. Okay, here we go. Smoking on an airplane. And they used to have non-smoking sections. Oh, hear that thunder. And, because the smoke knew to stop at row 25, right? Okay. Be happy, go lucky. Here's more tests. Lucky. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand. Wowee. So it really was about using star power and medical promises that they don't harm you. No medical blarney. We simply say, for a treat instead of a treatment, smoke Old Gold. No other leading cigarette is less irritating or easier on the throat. They're all saying that. They're all saying that about each other. Pall Mall. Wherever particular people congregate, and you can light either end. Okay, smoke for pleasure today and no cigarette hangover tomorrow. And that's Lucille and Desi Arnaz. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. Come on, Paulo. I see you. Come here, Paulo. Gee, Mommy, you sure enjoy your Marlboro. Yes, you need never feel over-smoked, and that's the miracle of Marlboro. Wow. So, I guess so far what I'm seeing is that in the 50s you could really lie about your ads. Using infants to suggest an innocent cigarette could cure just about anything, including being uptight, was about as low as you could go. Good God. Come on, Mom, just light up and calm those jingled nerves with a cigarette. Okay, so now the 50s. Atomic defense. Yeah, that was, kind of space age, targeting for tomorrow. Trying to get up there and can you guys hear that thunder? Radiation hazard, so they're wearing a vest, but nothing on their heads. And he doesn't even have a vest on. Rocket launches. All right. Just airplanes. On guard, Navy. Rockets. U.S. Army. Look at these computers. Look at those computers. Oh my goodness. Wow. Isn't it amazing? The peaceful atom. Okay. Sure. This is advertising the company that makes things like masks. You really didn't, you didn't need masks unless you have a pressurization issue in the cabin. I know there are a couple of airports that my husband had to be wearing his mask because they're already at a high altitude. And so if there was an emergency or a rapid decompression, you don't have time to get your mask on. So you have to take off already with your mask and oxygen on. I think somewhere in Peru or Chile. And I think they were, South America places, high altitude. I don't like things about war. I really don't. I love stories that are heartwarming. And I read one, and I would recommend this. It just came to my mind. It's called A Higher Call. A Higher Call. And it's about two pilots in World War II. A German ace named, Franz Stiegler, and an American bomber pilot named Charlie Brown, and how their lives were similar, different, but similar. And it is one of the most beautiful stories I've ever read. And I would recommend that to any and all of you. Honest, it was such a great, and it's a true story. It's a true story. And so, and I'm just going to tell you, it has a happy ending. You know, we know how the war went. But this was an amazing story and an amazing ending. And I would love for somebody to read that and tell me they read that and give me your thoughts on it. Okay. My goodness. Missiles. See, I wasn't alive in this era in the 50s, so I can't say I remember or don't remember. But I remember in the 60s, though, we used to have duck and cover things we did at school in case there ever was a nuclear bomb. Can you imagine? Hide under your desk. Yeah. Scary. Nope. Just don't even want to look at this. Gosh, it's a bigger section than the alcohol and cigarettes. All right. Housing. Oh, look at this little house. Oh my goodness. Houses for the atomic age. All concrete, blast-resistant house. Holy guacamole. They were using atomic bombs to sell houses, you know? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go to automobiles. So much happier. American ads for automobiles. Now, there isn't one of these cars I wouldn't love to have today, even though you can't park it anywhere. I mean, oh my goodness, they're so gorgeous. And convertibles. These great big tanks were convertibles. Look at that. Oh man, that is just beautiful. Do any of you have any cars like this? Look at how low. Okay, I think it's just maybe, that's really low. But they didn't have speed bumps. They barely had roads back then, right? I mean, good roads. Oh, look at these. Oh, look at that old Corvette. Oh, look at this one. Oh, that's my car. I need that. Cadillac. Now, that was a prestigious name, you know, very prestigious, of course. And she's got her big fur on and probably big diamond earrings. All right, Willis. Willis goes a long, long way on a gallon. I've never heard of Willis. I mean, I'm not a big car person, but I've never heard of it. Oh, the DeSoto. The Lincoln. What are you doing? Oh my goodness, custom built Roadmaster by Buick. Good grief, can you imagine how much stuff you could put in that trunk? I've told you guys my first car was a Mustang, a 66 Mustang, and I knew how to change my oil. I knew how to check my fluids. I knew how to add stuff to the radiator because the thing was always overheating. And yeah. Now, I don't even think I know how to open our hood, our engine hood. Wow, look at that beautiful teal color. It's a Lincoln. Wow. Ooh, I'd take either. Jewels by Harry Winston. Oh, yeah. So, Cadillac. Again, the sign of, high quality and wealth. Oh, wow. We used to go cruising on Fridays and Saturday nights downtown in San Jose. And we'd cruise 1st Street and 2nd Street. And we'd just go around and around and around in a loop. And here, let me adjust this light. There, that might help. It's okay. It's okay. And sometimes somebody would have an old car. And the thing about us in cruising, this is the mid-70s. We would stop, me and a bunch of girlfriends, and we'd stop and we'd be on a corner. And if a cute guy came by in a hot car, we would jump in his car and go cruising with him. I mean, it was just no big deal. Think about that. Jumping in a car with a strange guy. It's just what we did. And it was perfectly safe. And you chatted, you chatted each other up. You had radios on and windows down and, Stairway to Heaven blasting. And then you'd get out a couple blocks around, a couple laps around the block. And jump in a car with somebody else. And then you find somebody and or go back to your car, or you find a party, you hear about some party that you just go to. I didn't go to parties when I didn't know people, but downtown we'd always run into people we knew from our high school or nearby high schools and hear about those parties and sometimes go to those. And of course, they were parties where somebody's parents were out of town. I admit it. Now, if my girls had been doing what I was doing with jumping in cars with strange guys, I would have had a stroke. And it just, no, you won't. And I don't think cruising was a big deal. Like, when they were in high school in the 80s, no, they weren't in high school in the 80s, I'm sorry. Late 90s and, early 2000s. God, me having high schoolers in the 80s, that would make me really old. Oh, the Rambler. That's so cute. I want one of those now. A Nash Rambler. These cars are amazing. Oh, look at that. Peach and black. Oh, man. Oh, wow. And you had these great big bench seats, and you could put, when we were cruising, sometimes if somebody was borrowing a parent's car, and it was a big car like this, we could get like 3 or 4 in the front and like 4 in the back, and no seatbelt, of course. Wow. A Ford Thunderbird. Each one is, like I said, there's not a car here that I wouldn't have. Not one. In this nice, new, shiny condition. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. Look. Safe as ever. Nash thought of the children, too, in the world's finest travel car, because they can just lay down. Oh, my goodness. think I mentioned this before. There was a jingle called "See the USA in a Chevrolet." Da, da, dum, da, dum. Da, da, da. Wow, look at that. I'm sorry, she looks like a walking drapery. That is something else. Oh, so awesome. Okay, so we see big time consumerism with vehicles, you know, big time. Wow. Each one I'm in awe of, just awe. 57 Pontiac. Dang. Oh. DeSoto. Oh, pink Cadillac. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love that pink Cadillac. And I love that song, Aretha Franklin. Driving in my pink Cadillac. Wow. Edsel. Dang. I mean, today's cars are half the size. Hey, Leo. My door is open and the cats are coming in and out. Leo, what are you doing? Oh, look at that. Oh, these are cool. VW vans. Studebaker Packard. Hi, Leo. Hi, Leo. The Ford Galaxy. Okay, so this is for the bride and groom, the bridal party here. Oh, that's so cool. More Cadillac. Wow. See, they just really show a lot of luxury. Oh my gosh. The Mark IV Continental. Oh my goodness. I need somebody to send me that. I need that car. Wouldn't even fit in my garage. Oh, man. These are just something else. There's a lot of car ads. Holy moly. Look at that. I love the details. Very rocket-like. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. These are awesome. This is going to be a long video. I mean, I'm trying to kind of go through fast, but I don't want to be too speedy. Oh, boxer. I like boxers. They're good dogs. Oh, Corvette. Oh, there's one I'd love to have. A 1950s Corvette. Whoa. By the way, I have not opened this since I've had it. My looking through it right now is the first time that I've seen this. Huh. I wonder where this is. Looks like Switzerland. wish it would say. We were just there last October. God, we loved it. It was beautiful. We went up to the Jungfrau and stayed in Interlaken and Geneva before that. Spark plugs. Spark plugs. Yep. Those are things I knew how to do. Spark plugs, oil, fluids, check my tires. I used to know. Okay, my phone did not get, or my watch is not silent. That's the ding you just heard. What is this? Oh, okay. Inventing various better oils and things like that. Okay, motor oils. Motor oils. Okay, the winner is the worst car of the 20th century was the Edsel, one of Ford's most unpopular vehicles. It was a giant dud with consumers who abandoned the car wholesale. Marketed for the young executive, it ended up being the butt of jokesters who said it looked like an Oldsmobile sucking a lemon. I love that. Okay, so now consumer products. All right. Bibles and Reader's Digest and cameras. Argus. That was the name of my high school yearbook, the Argus. Oh, look at watching the movies, you know. We didn't have a movie player, we had a slide projector. We could watch our slides. All our film was put on slides, made into slides. Okay, so Kodak. Oh, Woolworths. Yeah, I loved Woolworths. They had a lunch counter that we used to eat at. Interesting. Darkness means danger. Protect yourself with a flashlight. Lil Abner, I remember that. That was I might even still be in the Sunday Funnies, in the comics. And number 2, pencils. Oh, Bob Hope. Okay, so watches and pens. Oh, look at a pink lamp, a pink light bulb. It flatters your complexion. That's what I need. Oh, look, Avon. Hey, Sherry from Mid-Mod Meridian. Look at this. I love her channel, by the way. If you haven't seen Mid-Mod Meridian, she's awesome. Her channel does a lot of retro Avon and Tupperware parties and things like that. Go to her channel and tell her I said hi. Colored toilet paper, which we don't really have anymore, although IKEA sells pink toilet paper, because I bought some. Because because it was just such a novelty. When I grew up, we had every color toilet paper, and it had all kinds of things on it. Oh my gosh, we had this. We had this, and like I said, you really couldn't control it too much, and you burned your head. Those things got hot. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, electric shavers for men. Oh, that make you stronger. Go from skinny to buff. Charles Atlas. Yep, the Charles Atlas program. Oh, look at Ron Reagan. Oh, he was so cute when he was young. These hairstyles. Okay, so these are all just kind of hair products. Natanola. What was it? Some sort of greaseless bleach cream. Okay, more Avon. Liz Taylor, Maureen O'Hara, Kim Novak. Yeah, so they're using movie stars to sell beauty products. Okay. Yeah, wow, I never saw these ads. Well, maybe in the 70s, but not the 60s. This is the 50s, so I'm even more surprised. Okay, guns. Yeah, everyone had a shotgun. Oh my goodness, I love this little pink stove range oven. Oh. In college, there was a class. What was the class? I'll never forget. I seem to have. Oh, it was like a logic class, critical thinking. And the instructor, he and his wife, he talked about how he and his wife were into really retro appliances and always trying to find them. And I remember my friend and I said, hey, if you give us an A on the test, we'll go in and buy you one of these. We were kidding. We didn't need to bribe. I was an A student. But anyway, we were just like, if you give us an A, we'll get you a pink stove, an oven range set. Oh, look at this. I love this so much. Okay, here we have pink cabinets. Yep, the Happy Homemaker. Electric, faster than gas. It's funny how things went back to gas because you have more accurate, control. Ooh, look at the 50 color combinations you can get with these refrigerators. Okay, here's the thing. Reynolds aluminum. And see, in the U.S., we spell aluminum without the I-U-M. I know in the UK and other places they say it aluminium because they have that extra I. Here, let me zoom in. I'll show you. And they're both correct. I checked it out. See that? Aluminum. So that's why my friend in upstate New York said aluminium. And the reason it was odd is because most of the U.S. says aluminum. Oh, look at this fridge. Wow. Whirlpool refrigerator and freezer. Oh my goodness, look at that. I love it. I love this kind of retro stuff. And I know Sherry does too from Mid-Mod Meridian. She's very much into this mid-century, mid-century modern look. oh my goodness, the decorator refrigerator. So you can put anything that you want on it. Oh my goodness. We had a standalone freezer in our garage too, like that. Kept all our meats and things. Oh, look at this whole pink kitchen. Wow. That is, and oh, red. Wow. Or burnt orange or orangish red. Wowee. That's loud. Okay, Lennox heating. Now, most houses did not have cooling, air conditioning. Most did not. My dad put a hole in one of our walls in the living room, and he put in this is in the 60s, put in a big air conditioning unit. And ours was the only house in the whole neighborhood that had air conditioning. Oh, look at. Now, our first TV was kind of like this, but it was bigger. And it had a record player in it as well. And like I've said before, you turn it on and it takes a while to turn on. It didn't just come on automatically. The tubes all had to warm up. It's almost more like this. And you had to get up and turn the channel. I remember one of our next door neighbors who lived there only temporarily. Her name was Marlene, and she had 2 little boys. And she was really, I don't know, looking back, she wasn't a very good mom. She didn't ever let the kids in the house. She never let anybody play in the house. And she was kind of mean to them. She was kind of a big bully. And now, maybe that's my 6-year-old self looking back. I don't know, but I just never really liked her. And one time, the boys who I played with, she did have a channel changer, and it went ka-thunk, 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 ka-thunk. It only went forward and backwards, ka-thunk, and it made that sound when it changed the channel. And she used to sit and watch TV all day, soap operas, and she would sit there and eat and eat and eat on the sofa and watch TV, ka-thunk, 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 changing her channels. And we would play on the porch and hear her. Anyway, one day the boys were really mad at her for something, I don't know what, and they stole her channel changer, the remote control, and this is when they were like brand new. And we took it out to an orchard around the corner and smashed it with a rock. And we thought it would break the TV. This is like my confessional here. And golly, I haven't thought about this in almost 60 years because I was just a little kid. And so we smashed the heck out of the smithereens out of that thing. And she had to get, we used to say, she's going to get her fat butt up off the couch and change the channels herself. And she did. She could never find it. None of us ever owned up to that. Never. We never told a soul. But now you know. And if let's see, Marlene, if she's still alive, might kind of remember that. And maybe the 2 boys, I don't know. Wouldn't that be funny if they zoomed in on this somehow and heard about this? I think there was a girl too, but I didn't play with her. I played with the 2 younger boys. That would be one of life's serendipitous moments. Somebody hearing this story, kind of like the Mary Alice story, whose hair I cut off. Her name was Mary Alice, and about Yeah, she was in kindergarten, so I was in first grade, and I cut all her hair off like the day before school. Mary Alice, one word, one name, Mary Alice. And, yeah. Ooh, that is pretty. That is gorgeous pink cookware. Appliances, lots of appliances. Look at the grinders. Oh, these are so cute. I love these. These are things you see in charity shops. And I think some things have a lot of high value now, you know? Oh, my battery's gonna die. This is a long video. I hope you like this and you can just tune out, fall asleep to the blah, blah, blah. Oh, I remember these cans. These are cans of Band-Aids. And they would rust. You'd find a rust spot in your medicine cabinet. Okay, I'm trying to go a little faster. Black Flag, that's an old brand. A bug killer. Disneyland. We never went to Disneyland. My dad didn't like lines and crowds, so we never got to go. Toys. Yeah. Space, a lot of space toys. A walking doll, because her hip joints moved. Musketeer. Now these things would be collectible. Oh, look at that bike. That would be collectible. A Roadmaster. And look at these little Harleys, 125. Wow. If you see a splice coming up, it's because my battery dies. It usually dies around 1 hour or just a little less. Oh, look at these for boys. My brother had things like this. My brother was a year and a half older than me. Actually, only 15 months. We were really close. He was my best friend. Blow launch. So, oh my goodness. Oh, okay. This is about film. Oh my goodness. Photographs for fighting crime, and they show a guy who's been shot in the back. Oh my goodness. Movies. Jet Pilot. All these 1 minute to 0. Cinderella, one of my favorite movies ever. The Flying Saucer. The man in the gray flannel suit. I don't know. Oh, Vertigo. That was an Alfred Hitchcock movie. That was good. That was really good. Son of Sinbad. I don't know these movies. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Elizabeth Taylor. Wow. Sayonara, Macau, Blackbeard the Pirate, or the Unholy Wife, half angel, half devil. She made him half a man. Good grief. Hercules. That was a good movie, North by Northwest. Another Alfred Hitchcock. If you haven't seen it, see it. Gigi, I liked Gigi too. South Pacific, Rodgers and Hammerstein's. Oh. I married a communist. Fashion and beauty. Okay, here we go. I love these bathing suits. Oh my goodness, these are awesome. Look at that. Wow. Oh, look at the bullet bra. Look at that. Imagine wearing that under a t-shirt or a sweater. The Permalift girdle. Oh my goodness. More bullet bras. Wow, look at the... Don't give these to your mother if she's over 25. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cute fashion. I like that. That's cute. Cotton. Sunglasses. Oh, look at these cute house dresses and aprons. Oh, the cat eye glasses. Those are cute. Bebop glasses. Oh, they're so cute. I love these. Van Huysen shirts. Yeah, pretty, pretty predictable. Nothing, aha here in the clothing. It's what you would expect. Van Huysen, plaids, various plaids. Oh, ties, different musical ties. Printed ties, wow. Lots of ties. Don't you wish we dressed up like this more? Just to go places and look good. Men wear hats and, oh my goodness. Jockey underwear. That was, I don't know, just kind of cool. That's on the cover. Arrow shirts. Shoes. Okay. Nothing unusual here. Nothing else. Nothing that stands out as really different. Nylons. Yeah, nylons. You always wore nylons with dresses. You did not go out bare-legged ever. That looks so delicious. Bran flakes, and okay, so these are breakfasts. Cinnamon rolls, the quick cinnamon rolls. Alphabets, I used to love those. Didn't get them very often, but I loved them. I remember we would get Wheaties, and when my mom wasn't looking, I would pour sugar all over it because I liked it sweet. Okay, coffee, Maxwell House, Hills Brothers. Tang, I love Tang too. Just because it was so delicious. I guess, sugar does that to you. Makes you want more. And I've given up most sugar. So, but I still love it. I know I do. Cheeses. Okay. Pickles. That's not a whole lot here that... Oh, these are horrible. These chungking, chow mein, and chop suey. That is worse than dog food. Worse. It's like what a dog would upchuck. And these two, these pizzas and spaghetti things. Oh, cheese whiz. Kind of like the early version of Velveeta. Okay. Oh my goodness. Dairy Queen. Oh, we can't go wrong with ice cream though. Look at that. Yeah. And I still love me a good Lifesaver. Mounds. I like Almond Joy. Because Almond Joy has nuts. Mounds don't. And Neckos. I love me my Neckos. Even though I don't eat them anymore. Oh, I love sorbet ice cream. Oh, look at these parties. Everybody's dressed up so sweetly in their best clothes. Boys in suits with ties. Oh, Kukla and Ollie. Now, this was on when I was a kid in the early 60s. I remember this program. It was in black and white, but... Oh, and popsicles. I loved popsicles. Okay, canned things. Jolly Green Giant. Canned vegetables. Coca-Cola. And that's that kind of classic, ad. Almost, yeah. It's... Who was that did that? I can't remember. Coca-Cola, 7-Up. Oh, yeah, pure pleasure. 7-Up is so pure and so wholesome, you give it to a baby. Yeah, oh my goodness. Their teeth will be rotten before they even have any teeth. Clean taste. Oh my gosh. It's the all family drink. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Canada Dry Ginger Ale. I do like Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Okay, White Rock Sparkling Water. What the heck? Okay. So you put ice cream on your Wheaties and you can add some fruit. Nutrition be damned. That's, what can be more tempting for healthy food than to put ice cream on it, right? Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that computer panel. Okay, so this is industry. And we know things were really growing in industry. Alcoa Aluminum. Wyandotte. Okay. Yeah, they're really, this is, an amazing time in the progress with science and technology, Life insurance. So now this is all about, family, showing family. How do I take care of my family? Oh, look at the phone. Okay, all right, long distance rates. Now this is, let's call this 1956. It's 1956. New York to Philadelphia is 40 cents a minute. Seattle to Washington, D.C. is $2 a minute. Now think about that. Where'd my phone go? Where's my phone? Oh, here it is. Let's quickly do an inflation calculator and figure out what that would be to call Seattle, from Seattle to D.C. Okay, so it's going to be 1956 to 1924. Okay, now we're going to put in the amount. It was, let's just say, $2. Calculate. So it was in today's, it's $23 a minute to call somebody and say happy birthday. You're getting a card in the mail. $23. No way. Oh, look at this surgery room. Look at her high heels. No gloves. No masks. Universal precautions hadn't been developed yet. Okay. Furnaces, tape, paint, rockets, okay, plastics, yeah, just factories and technology, coal, trains, and oh, look at the robot doing all the work. Hasn't quite happened yet. Buildings. Okay. What is that? Some sort of, I don't know what that is. Computer something or other. IBM's RAMAC, Random Access Memory, Accounting, Data Processing. Wow. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is an electronic calculator. This is a calculator. That's what's in our phones. Oh my goodness. Boy, have we come a long way. Look at that. I hope you younger people, if you're still awake after watching this epic volume of these look-throughs, I hope you can appreciate that. Okay. Phones, television. Okay, let's get through this. 4-second copying speed. That's pretty good. Royal. Oh my gosh. Look at this adding machine. Oh my goodness, I love this stuff. Typewriters. Wow. More adding machines. Not like the kind you would use for math, but like if you're doing accounting. I mean, if you're watching this right now, I want to hear from you because, wow, I don't think I can stay awake for this long on any video unless it's on in the background just to keep me asleep. This is boring stuff, really. Aluminum doors. Really? You had to put that in this book? Okay, furniture, that's always cool. Mid-century modern furniture, I do like that. But we had to go, oh, I love that patio. Look at that. Kid with a bow and arrow. Yeah, sure. Poke his sister's eye out. Hardwood floors. Wow. Oh, I love this mid-century modern look. I really do. I don't have it. I don't know that I would. You know, we're very traditional. Just boring traditional. Oh, look at that. That is all so cool. These bedrooms. Formica. We had Formica tables. growing up. Okay. Plumbing. Okay, plumbing, really. Kohler. Wow, that's an old brand. Okay, glazing, really? Bricks, really? Fiberglass. Okay. Air travel, is starting to become something, but, it's the 707, 720. Wow. The DC-7. Yeah, that's when it was very, very, ritzy to travel. You needed money to do that. I don't know, we didn't have that kind of money to be able to go and travel anywhere by air. Not until the 70s, I'd say, was the first time my mom and dad went on a plane somewhere. And the mid-70s, they went to Hawaii. And then I went to New York. And, okay, just different airlines and places to go. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? Yeah, spacious airlines, where you had lots of lounge play. Not now. Now they cram you in unless you're up in economy plus or business or first. Oh, look at that. United Airlines, look at that's it. That's their route. Those are their routes. I'm going to have to show this to my husband. Oh my gosh, look at these. Nowadays, they look at this and think, oh, I can seat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can put a dozen people in here and get a dozen revenue, passengers. Okay. Yeah, just different places to go, visit, luggage, trains, Hilton hotels. Oh, this is great. Okay, places to go. All right. That's it. That's it. Whew. Okay. Well, what'd you think? I think it's super enjoyable, especially comparing to today, right? Now, I tell you, one of my favorite things, because it's all pretty awesome, is the candy. I mean, I love retro candy. When we walk in some of these like boardwalk type towns, and they have those candy shops with like the taffy in the big barrels, the saltwater taffy. And they say free samples, like 1 or 2. The kid in the candy store. That's me. I'm just like, okay, one more. Oh, one more. Here's a grape one. Oh, here's a peppermint. I'm terrible. So what I do to compensate for all the free samples I took is I buy a lot. I'll buy, 2 pounds of candy or more and bring it home because I want to make it worth them for me pigging out on all their candy for free. And I'll give it to kids that I know and hide some for me. And I'll tell you something. I have hiding places that are safe places. And when I put something there, it's gone. It's gone. It's so safe, I never find it again. And Olivia, my little coyote, I found a bag of licorice, black licorice, that you sent me that I put in a hiding place. And I just found it like months later by accident. So, anyway, I'd love to hear from you on what you thought. What was your takeaway? What was your favorite part? And you know me, I will always read your comments. I can't always answer. Sometimes I run out of time. But I appreciate each and every one of them, and I read them all. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and I look forward to doing the 1940s one. I'll get to that maybe next week or so. Okay. I appreciate you. I appreciate this community. It's so fantastic, and that's why I do this, because of what I get back from you. Because right here, right now, it's just me and my camera and a couple lights. But overall, it's the interactions that I love. And what you give me, what you feed back to me. I love that. I truly do. So thank you. And with that, I'm going to sign off. And remember, save more, spend less. Okay? Thanks again. I bid you peace and wellness. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.